Hi there and welcome back. Today, thankfully, a sensible doctor is the name of my piece. Look after your knees, my mother said when I asked her what advice she would give to her 55-year-old self. I laughed. That was a few years ago. My knees were fine then. If you know me, you know I spend a lot of time walking. Always have done. Most of my best blog ideas come while out on a jaunt. I've met new human and canine friends. I've deepened existing relationships, especially during COVID. I've admired hawks, goslings, salmon, coyotes, beavers, minks, clouds, and everything else on offer to the observant. I've seen mature willows flattened by the force of nature after a big storm. I say hi or nod to everyone on the path, whether I know them or not. Walking will keep my mental health in check for another 40 years. I was pretty sure it would keep my joints healthy too. But then this winter, my right knee started to twinge sometimes. Not necessarily when I was walking, but randomly when I twisted it the wrong way. I chalked it up to all that bloody shoveling I did in February, although I have no memory of the action that precipitated it. I started wearing a knee brace and upped my chiro and acu appointments. I maintained the walking since it seemed not to affect it one way or the other. After a few weeks, though, I thought, shit, I better get this checked out. So I saw my newly acquired GP. He's a youngish guy, well, young to me anyway, and more proactive than the family doctor I'd seen since the early 90s. He requisitioned an ultrasound and an x-ray and made noises about an MRI and an orthopedic surgeon on my horizon. I bristled. It really wasn't that bad and not something that should be prioritized, knowing how precarious our healthcare system is. What's more, I was the person who, for the first 40 years of my life, blithely proclaimed my body was merely an efficient way to carry my brain around. If anything goes wrong, that's on me, or on my 40-year-old self anyway. The scan showed osteoarthritis, no surprise given my age, a possible meniscal tear, and loose bodies, whatever they are. Only an MRI will let us see whether there's actually a tear, the GP said, yet again. I thought of Jack and me sitting in the Toronto Western Imaging Lab at random times, like midnight on a Saturday. We'd laugh as I took him through the pre-screen questionnaire for the umpteenth time. That may sound like a fun memory. Indeed, we considered it a downtown date. Depending on time of day, we'd go out for a drink or breakfast afterwards. The thought of doing all that alone makes me anxious and sad. Plus, the idea of going into that tube with all that noise just freaks me out. Would they prescribe Ativan? And if so, how do I get home? These were the thoughts. I will fix this with physio, I resolved. But at my first appointment, the physiotherapist was also fixated on the idea of an MRI. As I lay on the table while his lasers promoted healing in my knee, tears streamed past my ears onto the paper table cover. Physio is not all the therapy I need, clearly. A couple of months ago, I got word that I had an ortho appointment booked for late May. I won't need it, I told everyone. It'll be better by then. Since then, I've labored over the physio's stretching exercises, discovering muscles in my legs I've only seen on others. I've even reduced my daily walking from about 6.5 kilometers a day to an average of just 4 this month, the lowest monthly average I've had since I started tracking it in May 2018. My left knee has started to twinge sometimes in solidarity with its right partner. Nothing is getting better. I'm tired of icing and of wearing the damn knee brace, and I'm running out of benefits coverage. So this week I went to that ortho. I was nervous entering Tommy Chan's office near Humber River Regional Hospital. I imagined the MRI that would surely follow, and then the arthroscopic surgery or cortisone shots or knee replacement. Who will look after me? Will I go to a rehab hospital? Is fixing such an insignificant problem good use of limited OHIP resources? When will I be able to drive again or go upstairs? What about my garden? As much as my knee may be failing, my imagination is as spry as ever. Then I met Dr. Chan. He's older than I am by a year or two, I'd guess. He asked why I was there, and I explained that I am approaching 60 and my knee is the physical evidence of that. We talked about what I can and can't currently do. Kneeling is the only new thing on the can't list. Squatting has been on that list for decades. He explained how walking requires your knee to bear 2 times your body weight, stair climbing 4 times, and kneeling or squatting doubles that again. He palpated both knees, eliciting just a few ouches from me. He noted the right one was swollen, hot to the touch, in fact. As casual as he seemed, I waited for him to bring the medical hammer down. But then my anxiety lifted. He prescribed 3 to 4 days of extra strength Advil and more icing to get the swelling down. I could do that. He suggested I get my bicycle out to build strength in my leg muscles in a way walking and physio exercises can't. I can do that too. He suggested swimming and joining a gym. I'm on the fence about those, but I'll consider it. He talked about getting long-handled gardening tools and raised beds. I'm way ahead of him on both. When I asked no MRI, he shook his head. He could see all he needs with an X-ray. And he doesn't want to see me again. This is a doctor I can respect. I was right. This is just aging, and the immediate problem will improve without intervention. I may be walking down that metaphoric hill now, but I can keep walking it. And right now, that's all I needed to hear. Excuse me now while I go get an ice pack. Thanks for watching.